Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Hare Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Asatradesha Tarini
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vashya Deshatarini
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shivasati Gaur-Bhakta-vrinda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल। Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, text number 14. Matra spashastu konteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama apaino anityas tam stitikshasva bharata. Retranslation.
O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance is due course, unlike the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense of perception, option of Varta, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed.
So we discussed this translation in the last class elaborately. Read the Bhagavatam.
In the proper discharge of duty, one has to learn to tolerate non-permanent appearance and disappearance of happiness and distress.
Wait. In the proper discharge of duty, one has to learn to tolerate happiness and distress. If you want to perform your duty, you have to develop this quality of tolerance. Because situations are going to come in your life where to perform your duty would be painful. I will give you an example. Let's say, I'm not talking. Normally, whenever we talk about the duty, it refers to scriptural duty. But just to explain you, it is your duty to go to office, go for job. Your loving brother has come to your home after 10 years, will it be easy for you to perform this duty to go to office? It will be painful, right? So, because of the happy situation, you are not able to perform the duty. It's a happy situation. Another case, your boss has chastised you very badly yesterday, and today you have to go to perform your duty to go to office and report to him. Again, it will be difficult. This is because of miserable situation, distressful situation that you are finding difficult to perform your duty. Understood? So both happy situations and distressful situations can become hindrance in the performance of your duty. It is Arjuna's duty to fight, but for him the distressful situation that his teacher Dronacharya, his great grandfather Bhishma, they will all die. Because of the distressful situation, he is not able to perform his duty. So if you have to perform your duty, you should learn to tolerate. Another example, which Srila Prabhupada is going to give in the purport. It is duty to wake up early in the morning. It is duty. Okay. And you must wake up early in the morning. All the birds wake up, all the animals wake up. So we also should wake up. It is duty to wake up early in the morning. But when it becomes winter, it is painful to wake up early in the morning. So, like that. So, one has to perform their duty. And to perform your duty, you require to tolerate the situations in your life. This material world is going to offer all kinds of different situations beyond your control. You may imagine that nothing can happen to me in this situation. You can just imagine. You can think that now my position is very much stable and all that. You don't know how the material nature works, and everything will be dismantled, and all your dreams will be shattered, and it will be extremely painful for you. So, it will be so painful that you will not be able to perform your duty. So, if you develop this quality of tolerance, then only you will be able to perform your duty. Tolerance is a very essential quality to perform your duty both on material platform and on spiritual platform. Tolerance is very important quality. So, quality of humility, quality of tolerance, and quality of appreciating others. These three qualities, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has specifically quoted in the Sikshashtakam, which is the only writing or which are the only verses which he has composed personally. Otherwise, he has not composed anything. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was the supreme scholar when he was just a small boy, Nimai Pandit. That time he had defeated the greatest of the scholar Keshav Kashmiri. That Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is such a great scholar, has not composed, has not written anything of his own. except these 8 verses. So you can imagine such a powerful scholar, if he is writing only 8 verses, that means he is offering his best in these eight. And in these 8 verses, if you analyze, the first verse is simply talking about the effects of the holy name, Cheto Darpan Marjanam. Second verse is talking about the potency of the holy name. And the third verse is talking about the qualities which one should have to chant this holy name. And these three qualities are talked. Tranadapi Sunichina, Tarorapi Saishna, Amanyamarshana. Be humble, be tolerant, be respectful. Be respectful to not those who are respectable. Be respectful to everyone. Like that. Those who are respectable, everyone respects them. A sannyasi comes, a king comes, a prime minister comes, everyone respects them. But a common person, respect. Of course, the way of respect may change. But respect. What does it mean respecting others? Respecting means do not consider, one way is do not consider yourself superior than him. Do not consider yourself superior. He may have done some sinful activity or all that, but don't consider yourself as superior. Because today you are free from that mistake. Don't know what is your future. You may also do something wrong. So don't consider yourself as superior. Consider yourself as fortunate, that's all. That you did not do this. You are protected. Consider yourself safe and fortunate, that's all. Not yourself superior. So respect others. Then you can chant the holy name. And after that, again, the other things, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is talking that be detached from the na dhanam na janam. That means be detached from the worldly things. That is the fourth quality Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is speaking. And then Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram, that means taking shelter of Krishna's, dust of the Krishna's lotus feet. Like that. So basically these four qualities only. Three in the third verse and the fourth quality in the fourth verse. Detachment. Humility, tolerance, be respectful to others, and detachment. These four qualities are very essential. And to perform your duty properly, tolerance is very much necessary. Tolerance could be physical, it could be mental also. Someone insults you, you have to tolerate it. That is mental tolerance. You are sick, that is physical tolerance. Right? Lot of heat is there, lot of cold is there, that is physical tolerance. So both physical and mental tolerance is necessary to perform your duty properly. So what do I have to tolerate? Tolerate both happiness and tolerate distress also. Sometimes people wonder, what is the need to tolerate happiness? You have to tolerate happiness in the sense that even in that happy situation, you perform your duty. Sometimes children, they are very much regulated in their studies and everything till the exam. After exam gets over, now I want to relax and sleeping extra hours and all that. Again, you are because happy situation is there now, you are breaking your duty. So tolerate happiness, tolerate distress, so that you can perform your duty properly. So this is necessary. One person, just one story I sent. I'm telling you this point. Is from the story which I wrote today. One person, he was coming to temple every day regularly, do some service. The priest in the temple asked him, "Why are you coming every day like this?" So, he says that I want to come here so that I receive your blessings and thus I make more and more money. So the priest said, "Is this your only wish?" So the man said, "Yes, this is my only wish." So priest said, "All right, it will be done." So gradually this person became very rich and he was no more coming to temple. Then after 35 years he came back to temple and again doing the service. Priest asked him, "For all these years you did not come, again you are coming here. What do you want now?" He said, "Whatever I wanted, I got it. And I realized that it's all useless. It all causes more and more disturbance." He said that I got a lot of wealth. And because I got so much of wealth, my business got increased. I became so much busy that I could not able to come to temple. And meanwhile, because I had so much money, I was in so much of anxiety. And then to take all that wealth, my children were quarreling. And thus, because of this wealth, I lost all the peace of my mind and association with temple also. Thus, becoming so much frustrated with all that opulence which I got, somehow I gave it up all and came to temple. Now I want only peace. So it happens that when the happy situation comes, he got so much wealth, happy. But because of that wealthy situation, happy situation, he got carried away, he did not come to temple and became disturbed. So happy situation will come, distressful situation will come. In both the situations, we should perform your duty properly. Because both happy situations and distressful situations of this world are simply binding us. They're binding us into the cycle of birth and death. The happy situations of this world are the seed of the distressful situations in the world. Again, I will repeat. Happy situations of this world are the seed for distressful situations in this world. I'm not saying that you should not be happy. Be happy, not of this world, spiritual world. Experience happiness on the spiritual platform, not on material platform. Happiness on the material platform is the seed for the misery in your life. Example, you became the topper in the school. Happy. This becomes a seed for the misery when you do not come topper. Forget it before that itself. Because you become the topper, you desire that you want to be topper next time also, and everyone also expects. Thus, everyone is relaxing, but you have to struggle to be topper. Isn't it? Everyone has expectation, isn't it? And you also have desire. So you struggle hard because I want to topper. So that's misery, isn't it? And after struggle, if you don't become topper, so much of anxiety comes till the result. And if you don't become topper, then so much of distress, so much of distress. So happiness in the material platform is the seed of misery in your life. So don't try to be attached to the happiness on the material platform. It will come, but don't bother about it. It will come, don't bother about it. It will go away also. Bother about happiness on spiritual platform. What is happiness on spiritual platform? You are not experiencing it so much. But Harinam, Hari Katha, Hari Seva in the association of devotees. This is your happiness on the spiritual platform. Harinam, Hari Katha, Hari Seva with devotees. Hari Seva also includes prasad. Okay, this is your happiness. Try to seek happiness in this platform only, in this region only. All other happiness are going to cause trouble to you. Understood? So tolerate it. It will come. It will come. Tolerate it. You will be, someone is doing business, he doesn't have any expectation that he should be very, should rise very much high in business. But it so happens that he becomes a very top business person in the whole city. Do not try to rejoice it. Just accept it. Don't get into it too much. If you become attached to it, it is going to become a misery. Because then you have to compete to remain at the top. And that will make your life miserable. So try to experience happiness on the spiritual platform. And what is that? Harinam, Harikatha, Hari Seva. The other things, it will come, it will go. If it is in your karma, you may remain topper for 10 years. If it is in your karma, in 2 years it will be all finished up. Understood? So like that. So experience happiness on spiritual platform. That means Harinam, Harikatha, Hari Seva in the association of devotees. Like that. So all other happiness and distress, we need to tolerate it. Simply tolerate it. Read further.
According to Vedic injunction, one has to take his bath early in the morning, even during the month of Magha, January, February. It is very cold at that time. But in spite of that, a man who abides by the religious principles does not hesitate to take his bath.
This is the example, one example which I quoted already. In winter it's difficult to rise up early in the morning. Tolerate it and wake up early in the morning. Next example. Read further.
Similarly, a woman does not hesitate to cook in the kitchen in the months of May and June, the hottest part of the summer season.
Wait. So yes, in summer it could be painful to cook because so much of heat. But no, cook, do your duty. Do your duty. So one has to do their duty properly. Tolerate the pain. Read further.
One has to execute his duty in spite of climatic inconveniences. Similarly, to fight is the religious principle of the Kshatriyas. And although one has to fight with some friend and relative, one should not deviate from his prescribed duty.
Wait. So Arjuna need to fight with his relatives only. Sometimes a judge may has to give judgment to his own relative only. Sometimes a police constable has to arrest his own relative only. Do your duty. That's all. Do your duty. Read further.
One has to follow the prescribed rules and regulations of the religious principles in order to rise up in the platform of knowledge. Because of knowledge and devotion, only can one
Wait. Complete the sentence.
liberate himself from the clutches of Maya.
Yes. So tolerate. Tolerate material happiness, material distress, so that you can perform your duty. When you perform your duty properly, as per the scriptural principles, duty means as per scriptural principles, then what happens? Then you rise in the platform of knowledge. You may wonder how the knowledge comes when you perform your duty, isn't it? See, everything you do has some experience, isn't it? Everything you do offers you some experience. If you do sinful activity, it will offer you some experience. And if you do scriptural activity, it will offer you some experience. So when you do sinful activity, you get the knowledge. When you do sinful activity, you gradually get the knowledge that these sinful activities are, are degrading my character. These sinful activities are causing me so much of pain in my life. Gradually, you will get this knowledge. That's what you will get experience. You may think that, oh, because I'm performing sin, just like you are smoking. Sometimes you may see, in the beginning, someone may feel that smoking is good. But gradually, after years, what knowledge you will get? That smoking is causing my lungs so much harm, isn't it? Hare Krishna. So in this way, one gets the knowledge. But this is a very lower level of knowledge that smoking is harmful for your body. One should not smoke, one should not drink. This is the kind of level of knowledge you get by performing sinful activity. Isn't it? Gradually you will get. Krishna will give you this knowledge by the nature ceremony. So similarly, when you perform the right duty, scriptural duty, then also you will get some experience, some knowledge. So this is what happens. When you perform your duty properly, you rise on the platform of knowledge. This is one understanding. Another understanding. What is the platform of knowledge? Platform knowledge is a platform of goodness. If you read 18th chapter and read the characteristics of goodness platform, it says that in the goodness platform, one is illuminated with knowledge. Whenever the word knowledge we talk, the perception comes the academic knowledge, not academic knowledge, not academic knowledge. The higher knowledge. Academic knowledge is a very lower level of knowledge. Academic knowledge is the knowledge of matter. Academic knowledge is simply knowledge of matter. Higher than this. When one is performing, when one is in goodness platform, he has a knowledge of valuing each and every living being. He is rising on the platform of spiritual knowledge because he doesn't see every person as the object. He sees every other person as the person. He sees bird, animal, trees, everyone as person. This is higher knowledge. Someone is having a engineering calculator. With that engineering calculator, you can do a lot of activities. But he is just doing only multiplication, addition, subtraction. So what people will say, he doesn't have knowledge to use this calculator. He doesn't have knowledge. It requires a higher knowledge to use all those engineering functions. So it's a higher knowledge. So similarly, you are in human body and you are simply talking about this material and that material and that material. It's a very lower level of knowledge. Higher knowledge is to see every other person as the spirit soul. Why it is considered as higher? Because with this platform of knowledge, you can experience higher peace and happiness compared to mode of passion and ignorance. You can experience higher level of peace and happiness compared to mode of passion and ignorance. That is why it's called as higher knowledge. So when you perform your duties properly, then you gain that knowledge. Otherwise, let's say we say that in every tree and the bird and the animal there is a soul, but in your meals you are eating the flesh of those birds and animals. Does it match? On one side you are saying that everyone is soul, but then you are eating their flesh. That means it's a theoretical knowledge. It has not come into your practice. Understood? But when you perform your duties properly, then you are coming on this level of spiritual knowledge. Because all these duties are offered to you based on spiritual knowledge only. And when you perform these duties, you get this knowledge. Another example I will give you. Just like in when we go to lab, we are performing some experiments. By doing that experiment, we get some knowledge. But those experiments are designed based on the knowledge. Understood? Those experiments are designed based on the knowledge. And when you do that experiment, you gain that knowledge. Did not understood? Okay, I will explain. Okay. There is one experiment about 7 colors. What is the experiment? You know?
The prism.
Okay. Light goes and the 7 colors comes out.
Yes.
That is one experiment. Another experiment of 7 colors. You rotate it and then what happens?
We can see the changed.
Huh?
We can see the changed pattern.
What changed pattern you see?
It's when we rotate that.
No. Take a disc. Put 7 colors in it. Rotate it. What will happen?
We can see the colors merging.
Huh?
We can see the colors merging.
Colors
Merging.
merging. Okay. What color will come after merging?
They will mix.
Huh? What color will come after merging?
White.
Huh? White. White. So, as light has all 7 colors within it. Okay? A light has all 7 colors within it. This is the knowledge. Now you perform this experiment. Either a prism or this disc with 7 colors. You will experience that knowledge. Understood? So experiment is based on knowledge. And when you perform that experiment, you gain that knowledge. Clear? Someone had the knowledge. Based on his knowledge, he offered some experiments to you. When you perform the experiment, you gain that knowledge. Lord has all the knowledge. Based on his spiritual knowledge, he is offering us the duties to perform, rules and regulations to conduct. When you perform those rules and regulations, you gain that knowledge. Clear? Just like it's a rule, don't eat meat. When you practice this principle, then only you will gradually gain the knowledge that every In every body there is soul. Otherwise, just like Srila Prabhupada went to Russia, he was talking to Dr. Kotosky, who was the head of the Department of Hinduism. For 2 hours, Srila Prabhupada tried to explain him that we are soul different from body. For 2 hours, he did not understood. This simple knowledge, almost every Indian understands it. But that professor with such advanced age and experience could not understand it. So this is the reason that if you are not performing your duties, if you are not living your life in goodness, then it is very tough to understand even such basic knowledge. Even if you hear it, it just you cannot match it. So performing rules and regulations are very much necessary. For doing your duties are very much necessary to understand the spiritual knowledge. Then only you can rise up to the platform of knowledge when you perform your duties properly. Knowledge means spiritual knowledge. So when you, let's say, when you rise up every day in the morning, in spite of winter, so much cold is there, still you will rise in the morning. It will help you to gain the knowledge that you are not the body. It will help you to gain the knowledge that you are not the body. Because you are functioning against your bodily desires. You are functioning against your bodily desires. And that's how you understand, gradually gain the knowledge that you are not the body. But if you are always functioning as per the bodily desires, then you will think that I am the body. Because you are functioning as per the bodily desires. Understood? So when you think that I am the body, that is not knowledge, that is ignorance. But when you get the understanding that I am not the body, that is knowledge. So this is, if you perform your duty, you will gain the knowledge. So performing your duty is very essential. So what are our duties? Some, basically whatever is in goodness, that is our duty. And the spiritual practices which are told to us, that is our duty. So perform your spiritual practices and lead your life in goodness. What is your life in goodness? You can understand from Bhagavad Gita, and you can understand from devotees. Devotees can tell you. And to the degree we practice it in our life, to that degree devotees will tell us more. If we will not practice, then why devotees will tell? First do this, first pass class 1, then the class 2 knowledge, and then class 3 knowledge. It's like that. So to the degree we practice, to that degree we get knowledge, and to that degree we get more practices and more knowledge, and more practices and more knowledge. Like that. So this is how it is. So practicing or performing our duty is very much necessary to rise on the platform of knowledge. Understood? So first point, tolerate, then you perform your duty. Okay, tolerate, then you perform your duty, and when you perform your duty, you get the knowledge. Understood? Tolerance, then duty, and then knowledge. Then what happens? By knowledge and devotion only can one liberate himself from the clutches of Maya. If you have knowledge, okay, if you have knowledge, and with that knowledge, if you are practicing devotional principles, then you can free yourself from material bondage. For example, you are badly sick, but you don't know that you are sick. Then do you think you can become healthy? You cannot become healthy if you don't know that you are sick. So you have to have knowledge that you are sick. You have to have knowledge that you are suffering in this world. You have to have this knowledge that you are suffering in this world. To compete, material competition is a suffering in this world. Of course, the whole world is like that. But if you observe, if you think from the spiritual perspective, material competition is a suffering in this world. What is the need to compete? It's an even such competition is not found even in the animalistic society so much. The way it has come up in the human society. And ultimately, what you will get, let's say you compete, and you rise high. What you will get with that competition? Big kingdom, big money, so many servants, so much fame. Yes, you can get all that. But all these are going to cause you so much of anxiety in your life. More money means more anxiety. Not that more money means more relaxation. No, more money means more anxiety, not relaxation. Only when you live your life in goodness, only you are relaxed. So, so knowledge is very much necessary to become free from material bondage. Knowledge that you are suffering in this world. And okay, you have the knowledge that you are sick now. Then you should have knowledge also that this is the doctor who can cure this sickness. You should have that knowledge also. You are having cancer, but you don't know what to do, which doctor to go. Then you will continue to suffer. Better go to the right doctor. So you have to have knowledge and then devotion, because only by devotion you can free yourself from material bondage. So knowledge and devotion. So knowledge that I am not body, I am soul, and I am caught up in the material bondage of three modes, and then devotion by which I can free myself from this material bondage. So both knowledge and devotion are necessary to liberate oneself from this material bondage or to make us happy ultimately. So tolerate, then you perform your duty, and then you get the knowledge, and with that knowledge and devotion, you become fully happy, perfectly happy. The tolerance is very much needed. Okay, and other four qualities are humility, be respectful, and detachment. Okay, read further.
The two different names of the address given to Arjuna are also significant. To address him as a Kaunteya signifies great blood relations from his mother's side, and address him a Bharata signifies his greatness from his father's side.
So, in the among the ancestors of Arjuna or Pandavas, there was a great king, Bharat. He was the son of Shakuntala. Okay. So that Bharat was a great king. He could fight with the lions even when he was small boy. Fight with the lions. Very powerful king. There is a great story about Shakuntala. So that Bharat, very powerful. And he did not show such material attachment to his family members. For him, the whole kingdom was his family. He was not biased towards his own children. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna, you are Bharat. Means you are coming from the dynasty of King Bharat, who was not biased towards his family relatives. Why you are biased towards your family relatives? You cannot behave like this. Tolerate this pain and do your duty to fight. This is one. That is why he is called as Bharat. Kaunteya. Don't you see that how much pain your mother Kunti has tolerated throughout her life? When you were small children, that time her husband died. How much difficulty she had to face to raise all of you in Hastinapur, where the children of Dhritarashtra were envious against all of you. How much difficult it was for Kunti to raise all of you. Don't you remember that when your elder brother Bhima was small, that time Duryodhan had thrown him inside a deep well to kill him. Don't you remember that Duryodhan had fed him poisonous food? How much painful it was for Mother Kunti to see all that? And she tolerated everything and did her duty properly. So can't you tolerate in this situation and do your duty properly? So like that, Krishna is addressing Arjuna by calling him with these two words, Kaunteya and Bharata. Read further.
A great heritage brings responsibility in the matter of proper discharge of the duties. Therefore, he cannot avoid fighting.
A great heritage brings responsibility in the matter of proper discharge of your duties. अरे ये तो पंडित जी का लड़का है, इनसे ऐसी अपेक्षा नहीं थी. This is how people talk, right? He is the son of a school headmaster. How can he steal? Isn't it? So like that. So a great heritage brings responsibility to behave properly. So we all are born in India, a great heritage. India has a great history. Being born in India, you are drinking. Being born in India, you are smoking. Being born in India, you are not following the culture. Being born in India, you don't know about Bhagavad Gita. This is all not good. That is why Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Bharat Bhumi te haile manushya janya janma sarthak kari kalpa rupa. You are born in India, perfect your life. How to perfect your life? Practice spiritual duties and live your life in goodness. That's all. Practice spiritual duties and live your life in goodness. Your life will be perfected. So because you are born in India, this is expected from you. So we all should perform our duties properly. Next verse. Yang hi na vyathiyante te purusham purusharshava sama dukkha sukham dhiram somra tattvaya kalpate. The translation.
O best among men, Arjuna, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress, and is steady in both certainly eligible for liberation.
Very important. So you want to go back home, back to Godhead? Everyone will say yes. Don't become disturbed by happiness and distress. Do your duty. And Krishna knows everyone's condition very properly. Krishna knows very clearly. And wherever our weakness is, exactly at that point, Krishna is going to hit us. Exactly at that point, Krishna will hit us and test us. Are you ready to tolerate it or not? Exactly at that point, he will hit us. And he will check whether you will tolerate it or not. Are you still steady in performing your duty or not? Are you still chanting holy name or not? Krishna will test it. So you cannot say that time that why this difficulty has come upon me, why not him? Isn't it? Whatever he is doing, same thing I am doing, but I am suffering like this, but he is rejoicing. No, Krishna knows each and every person. He is going to test us how much we are able to tolerate happiness and distress and perform our duty properly. Krishna is not saying, talking about the result, not here. Krishna is not talking about the result. Sometimes and mostly we in this world are simply functioning or calculate things based only on the result. He has scored good marks, that means he studied well. He has not scored good marks, that means he didn't study well. He got good profit in his business, that means he did his business well. He didn't got good profit, that means he didn't do his business well. This is our calculation. It is not right. And Krishna is not bothering about the results. Krishna is only saying duty. Do your duty. That's all. Do your duty. Perform your duties properly in spite of all different situations of life. And you will go back home back to God. Someone may get better result, you will get lesser result. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You are going for book distribution, another person is going for book distribution. He could sell 100 books, you sold only 2 books. Doesn't matter. He did his duty, you did your duty. Both are going to be liberated. Hanuman was throwing big stones, squirrel was throwing just dust. Both got Ram's mercy. So do your duties properly. That's all. Don't bother about the result. Do your duties properly. Try to perform your duty as in a best manner as possible. That's all. So we should perform our duties properly in spite of all disturbing situations. And we will be liberated. Results that will come by Krishna's mercy. Whatever Krishna wants. Our interest is an ultimate result. To go back home, back to Godhead, to please Krishna. That's all. So performing our duties is very much necessary. Don't get carried away by the results. Mostly we get carried away by material results. Whenever we talk about result, it is material only. Material results we get carried away. Spiritually, all the results are equal. Squirrel is throwing the dust, Hanuman is throwing the mountains. Both the results are equal for Ram. Spiritually, results are equal, but materially only we become calculative. And when we become so much attached to the material results, then when material results are not up to the mark, we will not perform our duty. When material results are too much, what is the need to perform our duty? Like that we think. So in this, our duties become disturbed when we are attached to the material results. No, don't become so much attached to material results. Do your duties properly. Krishna will give. Okay. In all the situations, we are supposed to perform our duty. If we have lived our life properly by performing our duties, surely we will go back home, back to God. Because we have performed our duties properly in all situations without any attachment. So we go back home, back to God because you don't have any attachment. But if we have attachment, then somewhere we will not perform our duty, some case situation, we will not perform our duty. And then you will have to come back to this world. So perform your duties properly in all situations without being disturbed. You will go back on back to God. That means perform your spiritual duties and remain in goodness throughout your life. Read further.
Anyone who is steady in his determination for the advanced stage of spiritual realization and can equally tolerate slots of distress and happiness, is certainly a person eligible for liberation.
Wait. So here another quality has come, determination. Determination. Very important quality. So without tolerance, determination cannot come. Determination is referring to your desires. You have a desire to reach to the top of the mountain. Have you climbed the mountain? Where?
In my village, Satara.
How high did it was? Or how much time it took?
Okay.
Not very high. You have to climb the mountain, which takes at least 3 to 4 hours. Then you will understand how much painful it is. So determination is desire to reach at the destination, and it will be very painful. So painful that you will think that better go back. So painful. But still, no, I have to go up. This is determination. So, in spite of pain, if you want to go up, that means you have to have tolerance. So, a determination can come only by the support of the quality of tolerance. If you don't have tolerance, then your determination will fail. Then your determination will fail. So, have the determination to perform your duties in all situations. And to have that determination, you require the quality of tolerance. Understood? The same thing. So have tolerance, then you will be able to perform your duty. Or have tolerance, then only you can be determined. And when you are determined, then you get the knowledge. And when you get the knowledge, then you will be liberated. Right? Read further.
In the Varnasrama institution, the fourth stage of life, namely the renounced order sannyasa, is painstaking situation.
Yes. Sannyas life is painful situation. Brahmachari life is also painful. But at least you have the shelter. On householder life, you have the opportunity. In household life, also pain is there. But you have the options to, to alleviate the pains by adopting some luxuries in your life. For example, a householder, he can choose to eat anything as per his choice. Brahmachari cannot. Whatever is cooked is cooked. That's all. So sometimes it may not be as per the liking of brahmachari. But no issue. Eat it. For grahasthas, he may choice. Like, no, today we will eat this. Like that. So in this way, grahastha has some luxury. Their life is also painful, but some luxury. And Vanaprastha life is also painful because they have to give up all the luxury of householder life. And sannyas life is, yes, more painful because he doesn't accept any shelter. So, yes, life is painful. And in this painful life, if you have to perform your duty, you have to have tolerance. But that is what Srila Prabhupada is going to give the example that sannyas life is painful. But if you are determined, you can carry on with your life. Read further.
But one who is seriously about making his life perfect surely adopts the sannyasa order of life in spite of all difficulties.
Yes. So fourth ashram is sannyasa ashram. Meaning, just depend upon Lord. Don't accept any material shelter. That is the perfection of life. So if you are serious, you will accept it. Though it is painful. Rupa. To accept the sannyas ashram means it's your duty. Sometimes parents think that to get your children married is a duty. But every householder should also think. Just like you are thinking to get your child married is your duty, similarly, you should also think that to stop the expansion of your householder life and lead a more focused devotional life is also your duty. Just like you think that your child should get married, that is your duty. Similarly, for you to get out of this householder life is also your duty. And that is considered as a very important duty. So, brahmachari life is a duty. Getting married is also another duty. But then 1% sannyas is also there. That is also should be accepted. At least one prastha, if not sannyas, necessary. If you are not accepting one prastha, that means you have not progressed. You have not progressed. It's like you did not graduate from the college. You went to college, but you did not graduate from the college. So you went to the householder life, but you did not graduate from the householder life. You did not accept one prastha. So it is important. So we'll continue in the next class. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If you have any question to ask, please let me know. Thank you. Hare Krishna.